Hey YouTube, Mark here. It's my night to cook dinner and I got something very special planned. This is another one that we just truly love to make. This is a recipe that we found back when I got diagnosed as being type 2 diabetic. We went out, we bought a couple of like 4 or 5 diabetic cookbooks. Basically my philosophy is that as soon as I was diagnosed as being diabetic, I wanted off the medication. I wanted to get off these pills. I didn't want to check my blood sugar, every couple of hours and stuff like that. So I hit this, wall full force. I wanted to attack it and get off these medications, and it worked, okay? And this is one of the recipes we use to do that. Now what we have here is basically, again, it's basically a double recipe, okay? So everything that I tell you in the video is actually going to be double of what's written down below, okay? This is a Caribbean jerk chicken, and man, this is one of our favorites. We love doing this. It's a nice sweet spicy rub on the chicken, but then you got some sweet potatoes in there and some black beans in there. Oh, it is just wonderful. So let's get into this. It takes a little bit of prep time just because you put together a rub, put it on the chicken. We're going to sear the chicken on the stove, put everything, the beans, the sweet potatoes, into a pan. Once the chicken is done searing, we put all that in there, and then all those nice little tasty bits at the bottom of the pan, we're actually going to deglaze with honey and lime juice, thicken it with a little cornstarch, and drizzle that all over everything in the casserole dish. And oh, it's just phenomenal. All right, let's get into this because I'm getting hungry. Okay, so right here we have skinless, boneless thighs, chicken thighs. And when you get them, they're all wrapped up nice and neat, and they look pretty. They kind of look like this, So when you get them, you actually need to unroll them because when we put the seasoning on, we want the seasoning on all those little nooks and crannies. 2.5 teaspoons of salt, a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper. This is 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. This is 1.5 teaspoons of allspice, and this is 1.5 teaspoons of thyme. Here we have a half cup of honey, a half cup of lime juice, and I just used the stuff in the bottle. I didn't actually squeeze limes, but if you did, it would make it a lot better. This is actually 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is 2 medium sweet potatoes all cubed up, and then I got a can of black beans, which we will drain and rinse. I almost forgot too, we need some oil to fry up the chicken. Doesn't matter what kind of oil. It could be olive oil, it could be vegetable oil. If you use olive oil, don't use the extra virgin stuff, just get straight plain olive oil. Okay, I just also want to let you know that because of my wife's low sodium diet, I will not be putting the salt in this recipe. I'm going to leave it out this time. But I need to put in my cayenne pepper, my pumpkin pie spice, my allspice, and the thyme. Now I'm just going to stir those together just to get them all mixed up. There, that looks pretty good. Okay, now what we want to do is we just want to take little pinches and just start sprinkling it, all that little bit of rub, all over everything. Then we'll flip them over, and we'll do the other side as well. Use it all. Alright, I'm going to set my burner on just a medium high. And while I'm here, I want to turn my oven on to 375 and get that preheating. While that pan is preheating, I'm going to take the time, open up my beans, get those drained and rinsed. And then I'll put them in the casserole dish along with the sweet potatoes. Okay, going to put my sweet potatoes in along with my black beans. Just gonna get them in a nice even layer. There, that looks good. Alright, I'm just gonna add maybe a tablespoon or so of oil. This is one of those newfangled no stick pans. Let's see how well it does. Once that oil starts getting a little hot, we'll start putting in the chicken. Now remember, we're not trying to cook the chicken all the way through because it's going to go in the oven. So we're just trying to get a little bit of brown on the chicken. When I think they're done, I'm just going to take them out, put them right into the casserole dish. Just lay them right on top. Husbandly duty, gotta heat up my wife's coffee. I tell you, these newfangled non-stick pans, they really don't stick. Okay, I got all the cornstarch, honey, and lime juice in there. This is supposed to be kind of like a deglaze, but these pans basically don't have anything sticking to them. So it's not really deglazing anything. Alright. Yeah, it's nice and thick. Pour it all over that chicken. Basically just glaze everything. Okay, now we got all that glaze poured all over. We're going to sit it in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. So we got the casserole dish in the oven now with the chicken, the sweet potatoes, and the black beans all simmering in that sauce in there, and oh, it smells good in here. Now this is actually the first time I actually made this dish using that pan, that non-stick golden colored pan, whatever you want to call it. Normally when I would do this, I would have a lot more stuff stuck to the bottom, and that's what all the lemon juice, the honey, and the cornstarch is supposed to do. Is it's supposed to use that to deglaze the pan and get all those little bits and pieces mixed into the sauce. With that pan, I didn't have those little bits and pieces, so I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to turn out. I'm sure it's going to taste the same, you know, it's got the same flavorings and whatnot, so. But yeah, I'm just going to leave that in the casserole dish for the next half hour, 45 minutes, somewhere in there, and then we can eat. Alright, it's done. Ooh, nice and hot. Alright, now to dish up, of course, grab yourself a couple pieces of the chicken. And reach down in there and grab some of those sweet potatoes and black beans. A little extra sauce over the top. That looks like a good meal right there. Oh yeah. All right. Chicken is super tender. That's really good. Of course, the sweet potatoes are awesome. I'm feeling better. You just got a little bit of heat. It calls for cayenne, but you're not putting a lot in there. And with all the honey that's in there, it really tones it down quite a bit. And with the lime juice that's inside, the honey's not making the whole dish overly sweet. So yeah, this is a really good, well-rounded, well-balanced meal. So, yeah, like I said too, I left the salt out of this one so Jen can have it tonight. And it's still a really good meal even without the salt. This is Mark saying thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the road.